Hey there, good man fam, and welcome new viewers to another episode of the Female Guessing Game. Now, the way this game works is that I'll review a video that has a single female in it or multiple females in it. But here's the catch. When it's a single female, I'll be asking you if she's a traditional woman, or modern female. However, when it's multiple females in the video, you won't know about which female I'm asking you until the end of the video. So, you have to stay to the end of the video to see about which female I'm asking you is a traditional woman, or modern female. Ready? Let's get it.
I'm sorry,
okay, then
just
don't
you know what the crazy thing is?
Yeah,
you
but guys
saying men
never
have
stay
the
with
power.
girls.
You said men have the power, but what I've noticed in our culture as well is women actually tend to have more power, but you always respect your man, and there's always a respect between two people.
Have you all noticed something about females, particularly modern females, but just the female sex in general? They always tend to want to have power, but they never say that them having power is a matriarchy and that that's bad. Have you all noticed that? Whenever they talk about them having power, it's like, yeah, I have the power. So what's the problem? But when they talk about you having power, it's the patriarchy. Have you all noticed that? Put it in the comment section if you all have noticed that and tell me a situation in which you've noticed that.
And that is something healthy. And I feel like the power should be split equally. So sometimes a woman has to take 80, the man gives 20. Sometimes the man is the one that gives 80 and the woman gives 20.
In what sense do you mean?
The roles can reverse, but as long as you've got something healthy, I feel like it should always be an equal thing. But what I've noticed is women always tend to have more power.
Isn't that funny? What I've tend to notice is that women always have more power. But at the same time, power should be equal. But at the same time, sometimes you should have 80, I should have 20, and I should have 80, and then you have 20. How do you dispense that power via that percentage all the time to make it equal? Yet at the same time, you just said women always have the power. Man, I tell you, man, you let these females talk and you will hear the freaking hamster wheel of nonsense going on in their head. It's crazy.
I can look at her man and he will know straight up. Let me stop talking.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
In what sense do you mean?
Let me behave. Let me stop drinking too much because I'm drinking too much. What I've seen, especially in my family, in my culture, the women have the most power, but we will respect our man. And we make sure we take care of our man. As long as you are respectful to us and you're taking care of us, we take care of you. But the one that rules the house, the bills and everything like that, it's always a woman because we don't spend recklessly.
Did she just say because they don't spend recklessly? Now, again, she's talking about that culture, whatever that culture is. But in Western culture, British culture, American culture, you think females don't spend recklessly? You do know they're 80% of the consumer base, between 70 and 80%. And they're 70 to 80% of the debt as well. But they don't spend recklessly? Again, she can be talking about her culture and it can be different. But it's just amazing to me how the way that she talks, it's like, yes, we have the power. And she talks about them respecting their men. So you respect the man that lets you have the power? Because it is a him letting you. Because if males wanted to, males can just turn up the heat on females at any time and it could get real ugly. So do you think you actually have the power? Or is the male allowing you to have the power? That's when the word allow actually comes into play and makes sense.
Oh, the woman is always the boss.
Is that
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
because the guys feel that they haven't got options to, you know, they feel that they're beholden to that woman because they don't have any options? Is that
Exactly.
No, it's not that.
They
It's
just feel like the woman is the head of the house.
Yeah.
She's got her head screwed on, so
And that's
she
his queen.
controls.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. So you're saying because the female has her head on straight, that's why she controls things. So isn't that indirectly saying that the male doesn't have his head on straight? So if that's the case, why in the world would a female marry a male like that? Oh, right. It's because a male like that will let her have control. Whereas a male who's not like that is going to look at her talking about control and laugh in her face and say, you're going to acquiesce and you're going to get the freak up out of here, period.
And when a man actually looks at his woman, that's my queen, that's my rock. They're gonna treat that woman that way, and they're not gonna do anything to put her in a position of jeopardizing their relationship. So therefore, she holds a certain power to an extent, and vice versa.
But that's only
the woman
because
tends to take care of.
But that's because the woman, especially the Portuguese woman, and even the Angola woman, they're very kind of subservient to their men in the sense of they'll do anything. They'll cook. They'll take care of him. His honey. Especially the Portuguese woman, which means that as the man, you are so comfortable and so attached to that woman that actually you will respect her. Anything that she says, she'll have. And that's how it is. So that's what she means in terms of.
But you're talking about two different things. They're trying to tie two things together because they want the second thing, but they don't want the risk of the first. Let me explain. When a female doesn't have power, she's in trouble heart-wise, because if she really likes the guy, then her heart is completely open and she can take massive damage from him if he wants. So she wants to be in control, quote unquote, because she thinks that if I'm in control, he can't hurt me. But you don't really respect those guys. And those guys will do anything for you, but those aren't guys that you respect. So it's a catch-22. They're making no sense. You want to be in charge, but you want to be in charge of a guy that you don't actually respect. So that means that you're not going to be as happy as you could be. And you're going to do what? You're going to go sleep with somebody else. It's crazy how they don't see this, but this is what happens when your mindset is feminism based, or at least your talking points are. You can tell me what you think about where their mindsets are, but their talking points definitely are.
And in terms of like managing the house, the woman is kind of like the one that sorts everything. The man just puts the money on the table and she sorts it out.
Excuse me.
That's like
y'all been
Asian
drinking?
households as well.
What power are you talking about? What power?
I'm referring to the power in terms of whatever she's talking about, in terms of having like control or within the household. So a Portuguese women, especially, they're quite strong. And it doesn't mean that they belittle their man. It just simply means that the man is very happy to just let her do her own thing.
Because he knows that she's not going to go out there being trifling. And if a man ends up being trifling, us Angolan and Portuguese women, we switch.
That's interesting. It's very different in Ghanaian culture.
And it's very different in Arabic culture as well. Like the man's always the boss. Like.
Yeah. So like in Ghana, like I'm probably the same in Nigeria. Like we expect men to cheat. And I think it's a bit of a toxic trait because they could get away with a lot. So West African women in general, are quite subservient, cook, clean, were trained in how to look after men.
And see, that's the thing. And those guys not only stay with those females, but they make sure that they're taken care of, because females in their culture understand the roles. They understand how the dynamic works. They're not trying to be in control because they understand males were literally created to lead. Why is it that you want to lead when you weren't built to do that? It's because the power itself puts females in a position where they feel like they can't be hurt. But they don't understand that female can be hurt at any time depending on a situation. It just gets lessened when she's in charge because she doesn't respect the guy as much, which means her heart's not open as much to him, which means less damage is potentially available to be done to her. Man, I want to hear the rest of what this female has to say. Grab yourself some merch on the way out in order to support the channel. And, of course, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks, good man fam.